Okay, take a quick look at the device sitting right in front of you. Yeah, the one you're using right now. Today, we are embarking on a massive, and I mean massive, zoom out journey in this explainer. We're going to start at the absolute microscopic foundation of your local PC and slowly zoom all the way out to explore the vast, hidden, and honestly incredibly complex infrastructure of the global internet. So, whether you consider yourself a total tech novice or a pretty informed user, by the end of our time together, you are going to have a crystal clear, structured understanding of the digital ecosystem we interact with every single day. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with Windows OS basics to get a grip on your local machine. Then, we'll step outside your device to see how the internet actually works, unpack web protocols and browsing, uncover the secrets of the deep and dark web, and finally, identify types of cyber attacks so you know exactly how to protect yourself out there. Section 1, Windows OS Basics. Before we even talk about Windows, we actually have to start at the absolute foundation of your machine. At its core, your computer doesn't understand human words or colors or sounds. It literally only understands two things: electrical signals turned on or off. Simply put, power flowing or no power flowing. This right here is the binary system of ones and zeros, and it's the bedrock of everything a computer does. So we humans use the decimal system every day, right? Counting from 0 to 9. But your computer relies entirely on what we call bits. A bit is the absolute smallest unit of data, and it is always just a 0 or a 1. To give you a super simple example of how this translates, the number 2 in our normal decimal world is actually written as 10 in binary. It's wild to think about, but every single photo, video, or app you use on your phone is fundamentally just a massive sequence of these ones and zeros. Your operating system, well, it acts as your incredibly efficient translator and office manager. It takes your mouse clicks and translates them into those binary hardware details behind the scenes, perfectly bridging the gap between your human experience and the machine's electrical signals. Now, to help you manage your digital life without needing to read binary code, the OS gives you some fantastic built-in tools. The taskbar keeps your active apps organized right at the bottom of your screen. The control panel is basically your central command for settings like time and networks. The task manager is your diagnostic tool, perfect for when you need to force quit a frozen app. And the file explorer is your digital filing cabinet. These local tools are brilliant, but they really are just the starting point before we connect to the outside world. Section 2, How the Internet Works. All right, let's zoom out from your local machine and see how those millions of ones and zeros actually reach the rest of the globe. Now, here is a common misconception that I absolutely love to clear up. People often use the words internet and web interchangeably, like they're the exact same thing, but they're completely different. The internet is the actual physical infrastructure. We're talking about the massive global network of fiber optic cables and physical devices spanning the earth. The web, on the other hand, is just one application running on top of that infrastructure. Think of the internet as the physical roads and highways, and the web is the shops, cafes, and businesses built right along those roads. Make sense? So, the fundamental relationship of the entire internet basically comes down to client versus server. It's actually pretty simple. Your device, whether that's your laptop, your phone, whatever, is the client. When you want to see a web page, your client requests that information. The server is a massive, powerful computer sitting in a data center somewhere that stores that website and, well, serves it back to you. It's exactly like sitting in a restaurant. You are the customer placing an order, and the waiter, the server, goes to the kitchen to fetch your meal. Section 3, Web Protocols and Browsing. So, how exactly do the client and the server speak the exact same language? That brings us to the hidden rules and protocols that allow devices to seamlessly communicate across the entire globe. You see, computers don't understand human words like .com or .net. They only understand complex numerical IP addresses. We bridge this gap through DNS, or the Domain Name System. DNS acts exactly like the internet's phone book. It seamlessly translates those human-readable domains you type into your browser into the numerical IP addresses the machines actually need to connect. And it happens instantly, meaning you never ever have to memorize a random string of numbers just to check the news. This all builds into a literal millisecond journey. The very moment you hit the enter key on your browser, a 4-step dance kicks off. Step 1, you type the URL. Step 2, the DNS translates that URL into an IP address. Step 3, your browser fires off an HTTP request to the server located at that exact IP. And step 4, the server accepts the request and sends back the HTML data, which your browser renders into the beautiful web page you see. It is a stunning feat of modern engineering, and it literally happens in the blink of an eye. But hold on, there is a vital security element here. HTTP is the standard way data transfers between you and a website, but it's completely visible to anyone looking. It's exactly like mailing a postcard. Anyone who intercepts it can read your data. No way we want that. That's why we have HTTPS. That S stands for secure. It fully encrypts your data. Instead of a postcard, HTTPS is like putting your message inside a thick, sealed, tamper-proof envelope. Always look for that S when you're typing in sensitive information. Section 4. Secrets of the Deep and Dark Web. Okay, let's zoom out even further now, moving way past the standard web pages we browse every day, down into the subterranean, unindexed layers of the internet. When most people hear deep web, they instantly think of something super sketchy or illegal. However, the deep web simply refers to any part of the internet that is purposely hidden from standard search engines like Google or Bing. It requires specific access, a login, or a password. Let me completely reassure you, you use the deep web every single day. Every time you log into your private email account, your online banking portal, or a secure company database, you are securely navigating the deep web. Now, the dark web, that is a different story entirely. To access it, you need specialized software like the Tor browser, which uses a brilliant process called onion routing. When you send data here, it doesn't just go straight to the destination. Nope, it bounces through an entry guard, a middle relay, and an exit relay. At each stop, a layer of encryption is peeled away, literally like an onion, to completely anonymize your original identity and location. It's an incredible piece of privacy engineering, though, yeah, it's definitely crucial to note that this extreme anonymity makes it a known hub for illicit markets and illegal activities. Section 5. Types of cyber attacks. All right, so with all this vast infrastructure, from everyday websites to the anonymous dark web, comes real-world danger. Let's bring the focus right back home to you. All of this poses a critical question, one that is absolutely essential for anyone operating a computer today. Now that we understand the sheer scale and mechanics of the global network infrastructure, how exactly do we protect our personal data? How do we shift from just understanding the internet to actively practicing practical digital self-defense? To defend yourself, you first kind of have to know what you're actually fighting against. There are 3 major attack types you absolutely need to know. First, malware. This includes viruses and Trojan horses designed to secretly infect your system and steal your data. Second, brute force attacks. This is where hackers use automated software to guess your password thousands of times a second until they finally break in. And third, sniffing attacks, where attackers secretly intercept your unencrypted data as it travels across a network. So what's your armor against these threats? Well, here is your actionable, totally empowering checklist. First, keep your firewall active. It acts as a bouncer, blocking unauthorized network traffic. Second, use up-to-date antivirus software to catch malware before it even installs. Third, use strong, complex passwords to totally defeat brute force guessing. And finally, the absolute ultimate defense, 2-factor authentication. 2FA requires a second step, like a temporary code sent right to your phone, meaning even if a hacker guesses your password, they still cannot get into your account. And wow, that brings us to the end of our journey today. You know, knowledge truly is power. Understanding this entire stack, starting from those fundamental binary ones and zeros that power the electrical signals, up through how massive networks route our data, and all the way to complex things like artificial intelligence, is without a doubt your greatest armor. You literally now understand the underlying language of machines. Let this not just be about digital safety today, but a motivational starting point. Grasping this basic foundation, it's your very first step to entering the incredible world of programming and actually helping build the digital future. So what will you build with this knowledge? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay safe out there and keep exploring.